Well, it surprises most Pittsburghers to find out that there are 25,000 open jobs in just the 10 counties of southwestern Pennsylvania. But the word does seem to be getting out. In recent months, our workforce has been growing as the national and even our regional economy cooled down. One reason may be fewer people leaving to look for opportunity elsewhere during the recession. Another reason may be boomerangs, expatriate Pittsburghers who are finding their way home. John and Christine Reba provide an example of that. John is a financial advisor with Hefren-Tillotson, a sponsor of our region's business, and Christine is a physician's assistant and the boomerang. Welcome and welcome back.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, well, this is quite a story. You know, you both moved back to Pittsburgh, you too, Pittsburgh, from New York City. Don't you realize that, like, New York City is a place you're supposed to work your way up to through your careers?
Well, you know, we had a great time there and we loved it, but as we talked about earlier, you know, we found out that my wife was expecting, and we were really at a crossroads in our life and wanted to decide, you know, if we wanted to raise our family in New York or if we wanted to go somewhere else, and Pittsburgh seemed like a great place to go.
And Christine, you've lived in other places than New York and Pittsburgh, too.
Yes, we met in Virginia. We went to Virginia Tech, and then we moved to D.C., and then we moved to North Carolina, where my husband went to business school, and I did work at Duke Medical Center for a heart transplant and their cardiac service. And then we moved back to New York. So
wow, okay.
We've been a lot of places.
I got to suppose there's some nice places, too.
Yes.
You got North Carolina is a great
Yes.
place, Northern Virginia, Maryland, D.C., great place, a lot of great stuff going on. New York City, you know, everything in the world is there. So obviously family connections play a big part in this decision. But second thoughts beyond family about
you know, like you said, we really saw a lot of opportunity. When we decided to move back to Pittsburgh, I did a lot of research on companies, and really I found that, you know, while I was in New York and there was a lot of people I knew were losing their jobs and there was a lot of uncertainty around the financial services market, I found that there were a tremendous amount of opportunity here in a lot of the Pittsburgh firms. So it seems like, you know, Pittsburgh's been able to weather this economic downturn much better than some other places.
Well, I've heard that from some companies here in Pittsburgh. They've kind of taken this as an opportunity to cherry pick talent from around the country, because all of a sudden, you know, with our economy and quality of life, the place is looking pretty good. Now, you're in the healthcare industry.
Yes.
So you went looking for a job too, right?
Yes. Well, the baby's due next month.
Okay, so you have your hands full in the short
yes,
run, right?
I do. But the contacts that I have at Duke and in New York, I've narrowed it down to 4 of the main heart centers here that I've contacted, and I'll probably go back to work in mid-January, and you know, most likely we'll be working with UPMC.
But you've got no concerns about finding a job or you know, finding employment. Here you are, it's the middle of a recession. Everybody says there's no work out there. You know.
Right. Several of the hospitals are hiring. Several of the hospitals are hiring, or so I've been told, or have spoken to the HR departments, and I've just applied for my license, which takes a couple months, and so we'll wait until you know, I'm a little bit settled with the baby, and then I'll start my search.
Sure. Well, I mentioned our website, Imagine My New Job, and the 25,000 open jobs. Last time I looked, there were almost 4,000 jobs in the healthcare industry, which is Eds and Meds, our region's largest employer. A lot of people don't realize, though, that financial services is actually the biggest driver of our region's economy. So you had plenty of choices, too, to consider.
Yeah, I had a ton of opportunity, and I was actually very surprised with you know, the number of firms that I found, and you know, did my research in the book of lists, and you know, went through about 20 different companies, and you know, the majority of them were willing to speak with me and take time to interview me, and so there's a tremendous amount of opportunity here.
Yeah, and what finally landed you on Hefren-Tillotson?
You know, I told my wife this after I first made a phone call to their human resources representative. I just had about a 20-minute conversation and called my wife right afterwards, and I said, you know, without ever meeting anybody, that I knew this was the place that I wanted to work, and I was just really impressed with the passion that this individual felt for the company, and after I got a chance to meet with more of the representatives, I knew that this is the place I wanted to be. They, you know, a lot of the same reasons why I ultimately went to Lehman Brothers in New York were reasons why I chose Hefren-Tillotson. You know, world-class individuals, a tremendous reputation in the area, and really a culture of collaboration.
Interesting. Speaks to the importance of that frontline HR person who's making some of the initial contacts. So you've been back how long now?
Just over a month.
Yeah. Okay, over a month.
Yes.
So what are you doing? I mean, you're kind of doing things you never did before?
Yeah, well, Pittsburgh has really changed from when I've lived here. You know, I left after high school in '96 and haven't really, I mean, I've been back for holidays and summer breaks, but you know, there's lots of new things to see, you know, lots of new places to go and places to eat, and you know, they've really built up the area from even when I lived here. And we're getting ready for the baby. That's the big thing.
Well, and that becomes the focus of your life,
That's
obviously,
right.
for the rest of your life. Well, it's great to have you both here and back, and you know, hope it goes well for you back home in Pittsburgh.
Thank
so
you
Thank
much.
you very much.
much.
Thanks for having us.
John and Christine Reba, thanks so much.
Thank you so much.
And we'll be back in a minute with a little dollars and cents. Stay with us.